Welcome to the Functional Neuroimaging of Memory Laboratory. The purpose of our research is to investigate how the brain supports cognitive activities like memory. There are three different techniques that we use in our investigations. These are known by the initials EEG, fMRI and TMS. The goal of this video is to introduce these three techniques and help you to understand what our studies involve. If you decide to take part, more extensive information will be provided. Electroencephalography, or EEG, is the recording of electrical activity from the surface of the head. The neural activity in your brain creates an electrical signal. This signal naturally passes to the surface of your head. Using EEG, we can record this activity using electrodes placed on your head in the same way that heart activity is recorded with an electrocardiogram. The EEG cap fits snugly on the head like a swimming cap. It contains electrodes that are sensitive to the very small changes in electrical activity. In order to get a good recording, we apply a conductive gel to the skin under each electrode. The gel allows the signal to pass from your skin to the electrode. We will gently rub the area of skin under each electrode with a cotton wool swab and work the conductive gel into place until the signal is good enough for the study to begin. The procedure can be time-consuming but is not uncomfortable. Before the study begins, the researcher will show you what your EEG looks like on a screen. You will be able to see how your movements and eye blinks can impact the EEG recording. During the study, we will ask you to minimize your movements and to stay focused and alert so that we can avoid artifacts in the EEG recording. We will provide rest breaks for you to stretch and move around. When the study begins, items, such as words or pictures, will be presented on a computer screen or through headphones. You will be asked to make responses to these items by pushing buttons. All of our studies are slightly different, and full instructions about the details of the study and the tasks will be provided at each session. There are no risks associated with EEG, apart from possible muscular discomfort associated with sitting still. When the study is complete, the cap is removed and you are invited to wash your hair. The gel washes out easily. We have a private area with a sink and shampoo, as well as a hairdryer and towels for you to use. Another technique that we use is called functional magnetic resonance imaging, or functional MRI. MRI permits us to obtain images of the structure of your brain. Functional MRI allows us to look at changes in blood flow in the brain that are associated with brain function. When an area of your brain is active, extra blood flows to that region and the level of oxygenated blood in its vicinity increases. Functional MRI is sensitive to these changes in blood oxygen levels. It allows us to identify which areas of the brain are more active in one task than in another. The MRI scanner is a cylindrical machine that you lie in from the head to the waist. A device called a head coil is placed over your head to enable us to get detailed images of your brain. You will be able to see through large gaps in the coil. While inside the scanner, study items will be projected on a screen or presented through headphones. You'll respond to these items by pressing buttons in the same way as for EEG studies. In order for the scanner to obtain accurate images, it is important that participants remain quite still for the duration of the study. Small movements of the head cause large problems for data analysis. If the head moves more than a few millimeters, the data might not be usable at all. There are some important safety considerations for MRI that do not apply to EEG. The scanner is a large magnet. Like all magnets, it attracts metal objects. For this reason, it is very important that no metal is taken inside the MRI suite. Before entering the MRI suite, you will be asked to store all personal items in a secure locker until the end of the study. If there is anything metal, such as jewelry or medical devices, that you cannot remove, then you will not be able to participate in MRI studies. If you decide to volunteer to participate in an MRI study, our researchers will contact you to ensure it is safe for you to participate. The last technique that we use is called TMS, which is short for transcranial magnetic stimulation. TMS is a very important tool for understanding how the brain supports cognitive activity because it allows us to directly investigate links between brain activity and cognitive performance. With EEG and fMRI, We can show that differences in brain activity track memory performance, but we do not know whether the brain activity is necessary for that performance. This is a very important distinction. TMS involves the delivery of brief magnetic pulses to a small region of the brain through a figure-of-8 shaped coil. The coil is placed on the head and positioned over the brain region that we're interested in. The coil delivers a very brief magnetic pulse, which makes a click sound, or a short train of pulses that can be heard going click, click, click. These pulses stimulate brain activity in the region under the coil. This added stimulation temporarily disrupts the activity that would normally occur. Using this method, we can observe how stimulation impacts cognitive performance. If performance changes as a result of TMS, we can say that this brain region is important for performance. While the TMS pulses are applied, you may feel a mild tapping sensation against your head. This is the response of some of the muscles laying under your scalp to the magnetic pulse. You will have the opportunity to experience what TMS feels like before the study begins. Sometimes, the pulses and the related twitching of muscles can cause discomfort, such as a headache. If you do not like the sensation of the pulses, or feel any discomfort, we can discontinue the study at any time. As with MRI, there are some important safety considerations to take into account when selecting participants for TMS. For some people, stimulating brain activity may be problematic. This is particularly a concern for people with epilepsy, where stimulating brain activity may lead to an increased risk of seizure. For this reason, anyone with epilepsy or a family history of epilepsy is excluded from participating. If you are interested in participating in a TMS study, a researcher will contact you to ensure it is safe for you to do so. If you do take part in research with us, please make sure that you read through all the information that is provided to you. This video is not intended to replace the information that is given in a consent form or in other, more comprehensive information sheets provided by your researcher. In all of our studies, it's important that you know that you will be able to leave the study at any time if you decide that you no longer want to participate. If you would like further information about participating in our studies, please get in touch with us. Thank you for your interest in our research program.